to just talking to my mom. And Amber went over to my mom's house one day and was playing cards, and maybe she didn't like the way Amber was talking to my sister and would mention that to me. So when Amber says I haven't been around for 2 years, I don't know nothing.
My mom's house one day. She didn't like the way Amber was talking to my sister.
Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Amber's aunt releasing DMs between her and Tommy. That's right, for the low introductory price sale of absolutely nothing. You heard it here last. Amber's aunt, who recently exposed her, DM'd Amber's current or ex-girlfriend Tommy, who also exposed her. Does the fun ever start? Apparently it did. So basically the aunt posted a short on her channel in which she decided to release the DMs. Also, in a stunning turn of events that no one else could see coming, Amberlynn Reid, Hans Christian Pookie Reid, Amber's aunt, went live with Oh Lordy, it's Kermie, Oh Lordy reaction channel, it's Jordy, and is spilling more tea and speaking out against Amber. So we're going to look at that. Does the fun ever start? It did, girls. It's finally started. If you could not tell already by this ridiculous intro, every single thing I'm saying just for entertainment purposes only. Please don't take anything I say seriously. I'm sharing my own opinions, not facts, on publicly accessible information first made public by public figures. Please don't go to their channels and leave mean-spirited, negative, discouraging, disparaging comments. Entertainment purposes only. I have stayed quiet for as long as I wish. I seen you for what you were from the very beginning. I try to warn Amber and my sister. You all will get the karma you deserve. Special place. Okay. So that is one and only Amber's aunt saying this and messaging this to Tommy. Tommy responding, I'm assuming you're Amber's aunt? What are you even talking about? You literally know nothing about me. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And the aunt says, I know, enough. Tommy says, you know whatever Amber told her mother, I'm assuming. Reliable source. Here's a question. Can I ask a stupid question? Yes, I know. Better than anybody and everybody that you know. So if you're saying here that Amber's like not a reliable source, why did Amber tell us that you went back after all her live streams after you exposed her, Tommy, and went ahead and called her and texted her? Like, what was the point of that? Like, if you don't think that Amber's a reliable source, why are you even continuously talking to her? So the aunt says, I would never base my belief on anything Amber has to say solely. I base my opinions on who you are and what you have done and what I have seen and read myself, as well as an overall gut feeling. My goodness. You say, leave you alone. How about you leave my niece alone for good? You're reading internet rumors, says Tommy, and making an opinion based off of that. You're not different than any other everyday hater. You are acting like you give about Amber as a joke. She doesn't talk to you for a reason because of how you act. What an embarrassment. And I just wanted to say, if she really absolutely 100% did not care about Amber, there would be no reason for her to contact Tommy. Let's think about this logically. Why would she ever contact Tommy and say these things if she genuinely didn't care about Amber? I understand that she exposed Amber, and I understand that some people felt that it was wrong. But if she really didn't care about Amber, there would be no reason to contact Tommy and tell her this. I don't have to defend myself to you. You are right about one thing. We don't talk for a reason, actually several reasons, and you just happen to be one of many. You want to talk about embarrassment? Why don't you worry about doing whatever? What do people in your life say about this? Tommy says, yikes. Like I said, you know nothing about me other than stupid internet rumors, but the fact that you're going to betray your own family for a little bit of internet clout when everybody already thinks you're unhinged is wild. What a warm family conversation. Amber, is this the love, the soft and gentle love that you spoke of that you had with Tommy?
Like I had posted earlier, come from a family where you know you're going to have to prove that you're not lying or that you're telling the truth or whatever at some point, and that's why I keep every conversation I've ever had with this girl. So I've been looking through a lot of them today. And the one thread, because of course she's had several different phone numbers throughout the years, but one goes back, 5 years. just on the one that I looked at today, but it talks about a lot of the things that she likes to talk about. Of course, I have my receipts. So the November 1st date, yes, is my sister's clean date, but as most of you seen on her video, the way she said, she even got buried on my mom's clean day as if it was some decision that I made because I'm obsessed with them or whatever it was. You know, it was just a weird thing. So here's the truth behind that. That is my anniversary date with my husband. We got together on November 1st, 2012. So that date was already my date before my sister even found sobriety.
Okay, at some point, somebody's going to have to say something about it. I honestly, truly believe that people should celebrate their sobriety. You should celebrate your sobriety every single day. I think that it is a very amazing thing. But quite frankly, Amberlynn Reid, your aunt owes you nothing. And she also owes your mom nothing. Okay, so Amber made a giant big deal. How dare you? How dare you get married to your husband? How dare you get married to your husband on November 1st when that was my mommy's sobriety anniversary? Okay. Well, you just heard why. How dare a woman decide to get married to the man that she loves and wants to be with and spend the rest of her life with on the anniversary of when they started to be together. So the reason that she got married on November 1st is because she actually started being with him on November 1st. Lots of people get married on the actual anniversary of them starting to date. This is common. There's a reason for it. It's sentimental. Just like I think it is incredibly important for Amber's mom to celebrate her sobriety on November 1st. I also think that, people have the right to have two events on the same day. What about all the people who got married on November 1st, whose birthdays? Hey, anybody out there November 1st birthdays? Happy upcoming birthday. Like anybody out there, your kid's birthday, your aunt's birthday, your dog's birthday, your Kermit's birthday, November 1st. People get married on. This is outrageous. Amber just needs to say listen, I understand what's going on. Amber is angry that her aunt is exposing her, and I can understand that. When we are angry that things are happening that are outside of our control, we sometimes act in ways that are just like pointless. Okay, Amber, I know you're angry at your aunt for exposing her, but she didn't do anything wrong by getting married on the same day that your mom got sober. Both of them both of them have the right to actually celebrate on that day. You'll also hear the aunt tell you that November 1st was when she met, her future husband. That was her date first. Honestly, this is ridiculous. One of my good friends got married the month before my birthday. Who cares? And then she was away on her honeymoon on my birthday. Did you think I care? No, it's fine. I know it's not exactly the same thing, but it's the closest example I could give. I was just happy that she was in love and, got married and was enjoying herself. Not everything revolves around me, and I can assure you, Hans Christian Pookie Reid, almost nothing revolves around mommy dearest over there, okay? This is ridiculous. I could understand if somebody even said, you know what, I'm getting married on my sister's birthday to spite her. This you could kind of understand. It's not like the nicest thing. What you'll hear is the aunt say, I did so much for my sister. I presented her with this special thing for her sobriety because her sobriety was on the same day as my wedding. People are allowed to have same day sentimental events. This is preposterous. Like, yes, your sobriety is on November 1st, and I think you should celebrate your sobriety every day. I think that is one of the most amazing and respectable things that a person can do with their life. Save your life and have your sobriety, and that is something that is beautiful and needs to be celebrated. But quite frankly, I'm sorry, Amber, you are not making any sense. Okay, people are allowed to do what they're doing. What about when somebody is sharing their birthday or sharing their sobriety with somebody else? Amber just needs to say anything to stick it to her aunt. I get that you're upset that you're being exposed, but I'm going to say something that's going to be beautiful. Amberlynn Reid has always said that the worst are the reaction channels. Oh, the reaction channels are bothering me. You know what's worse than a reaction channel? Your aunt exposing you. The reaction channels don't seem so bad now, Pookie. Someone needs a blankie.
By 3 years. So,
Oh.
kind of really weird that she would even go there, period. When in reality, I shared my special day, vice versa. So it just shows Amber for Amber to try to make something out of literally nothing. But
Yeah.
on top of that, my husband's grandmother's birthday is November 1st. Talk about sharing a date. But we were kind of excited about that. Like, how awesome to have a date that means a lot of great things. You know, his grandmother was a wonderful woman with this man. And then my sister finally finds sobriety. That should be a day of celebration all the way around.
Yeah.
So, on top of that, every single year that my sister celebrated a sobriety anniversary date, I would get her medallions. I would make her t-shirts. She's posted several of them. We have pictures of several. But most importantly, on that day was her 7th clean date. 7's always my sister's favorite number, so it was a little special. I got her an extra special medallion. It glue in the dark, and it was beautiful. I was so excited to give it to my sister. My mother at the time was getting in my sister's head saying, well, you know, because knowing that I celebrated my sister's sobriety to the extent that I did every single year, my mom was saying things like, well, you know, this is your day. You don't need to share this with your sister. This is you and your husband's day.
Okay, so now we're getting into a whole bunch of family drama that, in my opinion, probably didn't always need to be shared. It's just an opinion, not a fact. But what I really want to say is, Amberlynn, is this everything you thought it would be? I really hope you're enjoying this. I really hope you're enjoying all of your family's dirty laundry being aired out. You know why? Because you caused this. Also, Amber thinks that you actually, listen, she thinks that you actually have to do something to a person this year to cause something. What about all of the things that you have been doing to people, like to Beck, to Valentine, to Alexis? What about all the terrible things that you've done throughout your life? Maybe coming back to you now. What I'm trying to say is she thinks as long as I didn't do anything to my aunt for the last 2 to 5 years, I'm in the clear. I'm here to tell you, I really hope you're enjoying this, Amber. You know how you could have avoided this? By being a good person in your private personal life. And of course you are. You're such a wonderful, fabulous person. You tell us this all the time. So I just wanted to say it's the most amazing person I've ever known, Amberlynn Reid. I really, really, really hope that you're enjoying this. This couldn't have happened to the most amazing, nicer person than you. By the way, remember when Amber was enjoying all the terrible things that were happening to like one of the reaction channels, Narc Alert? And I said, wow, Amber, you know, this is really not good. It's really not good to enjoy when negative things happen to other people, right? Oh, you never know. It could always come back to you.
And even then, I said, absolutely not. I will always celebrate my sister's sobriety.
Oh, that's really special.
On that day, I presented my sister with a very special medallion privately at my wedding. And I have text and pictures and all that to prove every bit of that.
Hey, Amber, how come you never told your audience that your aunt went out of her way on her own wedding day and presented your mom with the whole thing, with the whole medallion for being sober on the same day as she got married? That was a very kind and sweet and phenomenal gesture. But instead of telling everybody about that, you know what you did, Pookie Reid? You said, she got married. She got married on my mom's sobriety date. Okay, she got married on your mom's sobriety date. I guess everybody else that was born on November 1st gets no Kermits. I mean, the audacity to paint a picture in the picture in the exact opposite way of the way that it actually went. What really happened is when Amber's aunt got married on the same day that her mom had gotten sober, the aunt did this amazing, beautiful thing and shared, remember, shared something do you know how to share, Pookie? Your girlfriends. Shared her wedding day with your mom's sobriety. Notice how Amber didn't tell you that. I want you to pay attention to only one thing. What else is Amber purposely leaving out of the narrative? Remember, she needs to shape her own.
Wow, this girl is one more example.
Oh, yeah.
When she says that I never tried to be a good aunt to her. Oh my gosh. When I read back all these texts that I have done with this girl over the years, I wish I had an aunt like me.
Even though I understand what she meant, I think this didn't land the way that she probably expected it to. You are exposing your niece, and I think that you're doing, great job at it. But the thing is that probably there is going to be a portion of the audience that's going to be like, well, we'd rather have family members that don't expose us. And to those people, please remember that Amber deserves what she's getting because she put in the work to get exposed. If she treated people well and didn't blackmail a woman who was in a bad relationship, but, maybe if you didn't lie, but I do see the other side here. I'm sure people will say, well, we don't want an aunt who exposes us. Well, I wouldn't want a niece like Pookie Reid either.
Do it all. Even when she disrespected me and lied to me over the stupidest things that didn't even need to be lied about.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to keep loving her. And part of the reason why I'm so hurt right now is because, she says that she texted me in February, something with that picture. That was true. And I did only heart it. Oh my gosh, I'm such a horrible person. I was working at the time out of town, probably setting up, taking up, busy.
Amber, sometimes people only heart a text message because they're in the middle of work. Remember what work is, Amber?
And I think I was, because if you think about it, I waited all this time for Amber to not only be in my life in a healthy way, but she's moving 10-minute drive from me. And so sometimes I did get some information through just talking to my mom conversation.
Yeah, as is with a lot of family relationships.
Yes. Maybe my sister and Amber went over to my mom's house one day and was playing cards, and maybe she didn't like the way Amber was talking to my sister and would mention that to me. So when Amber says I haven't been around for 2 years, I don't know nothing, I know a lot.
I guess Amber didn't plan on her grandma exposing what goes on between Amber and her mom to the sister, to Amber's aunt. So apparently the grandma didn't like the way that Amber was talking to, her mom. Here's the thing. What the aunt said that I had to take out for time because I can't play Jordy's entire video here. What she was trying to say is that, the grandma is elderly and she is, sick, she has health problems. And so, what is she going to really talk about, that and whatever's going on in the family, which is understandable and very reminiscent of a lot of families. This is actually very common. So I'm not saying anything against that. But the point is, Amber thinks that because my aunt doesn't talk to me, she has no idea pretty much what I'm doing. Amber, I myself have witnessed you disrespecting your mother by outing her. And I would say it's more than disrespect. She outed her own mom on her channel, monetized it, took the money. Did you pay for mommy? Did you pay for mommy every time you took her to dinner? Your mom drives you around everywhere. How dare you not give her gas money? I want to know if you give her gas money every single time because she's your chauffeur. You know how much money you would have had to actually waste if you had a car service drive you around? You should give your mom gas money because, we're hearing that you're not. But the point is, she thinks that her aunt doesn't know how badly she treats mommy. but not only does YouTube know, because we've seen it, how many backhanded compliments and straight up insults did Amber give her mom, talking about mom's gray hair, talking about, putting on the YouTube that mom can't afford stuff. These are things that are private. Amber, do you know who has opened up the floodgates to all of this? You, for the last 10 years trashing your parents. Oh, it's my story. Well, now your story is coming full circle, Pookie. By the way, have I not told you for a really long while that I thought that there had to have been a reason why Amber's grandma told her that she couldn't come back, and that's why she had to stay living with Casey, where your grandma said you cannot come back? There must have been a reason, and it had everything to do, in my opinion, with Amber's behavior. So your grandma has been telling your aunt that she doesn't like the way that you speak to your mom. I wonder how badly you speak to your mom in private when we've seen how badly you speak to her in public.
And it doesn't always have to be seen with your own eyes. I mean, a lot of, like, you can figure out, you can read between the lines, I know a lot.
Yeah.
My sister is obviously shaken up by this, but I heard on the end of that call, it's very, very low reactive, because I think they don't know what I'm gonna say. They know how I am and that I keep all receipts, because it's something I've said since day one.
Yeah.
So I think that's why my sister's laying low, because we can compare stories all day long, and I guarantee you, I will not be the bad one in the equations. Guarantee it.
So in terms
a
of
sister and an aunt that has been hurt and hurt and hurt and is just finally done and just wants to be heard finally.
So in terms of all of these receipts that you have stockpiled from over the years, what do you are you just kind of waiting for them to see how they react? Are you looking to share that? How do you feel about it?
It just, there's so much of it, so it kind of unfolds. Decades of text and start posting each and every one, no. But if something was actually questioned, did you do this? Did you say this? Did Amber say that? Then I would pull them up to prove, no, this is what was said, and this is how I was treated. The whole thing was sending, my sister even a letter. It wasn't about her sending my sister money. I had that. Never asked Amber to send my sister money. It was more a letter. This is the time. She always said she wanted my sister. But then when she could reach my sister and actually write her, and I would explain to her, this is the time. My sister can't go nowhere.
Having a family member, especially your mom, in prison is a very difficult thing to grasp and to deal with, and everybody deals with it differently. I don't think that Amber should have been giving mommy money when mommy was in prison. But I definitely think that Amber should be giving mommy money now, since mommy does free, or, chauffeuring around the town. But do I think that Amber could have written her mom a letter? Yes. Do I think it says everything that she didn't write her mom a letter? Yes. It says way more about you, Amber, than it does about your mom.
As you guys notice, she always expected me. Like, what makes a difference? I'm my sister's sister, right? I'm my sister's younger sister. I lost my sister when I was around 11 years old, I believe. I think she was like 13, 11 is when she left.
It's amazing to me that Amber only views her mother as her mom, not someone's sister, someone's friend, someone's fiance, someone's wife, someone's girlfriend. What the aunt is saying is absolutely incredibly sad to hear. She did lose her sister. You lost a mom because your mom wasn't there for you, and she lost a sister.
Yeah. And through this, it has really shown me that I have put in so much, gotten so little in return. All I've done is give. Amber doesn't even know even close to what my age is. When you start realizing stuff like that. By the way, I'm 54. I'm not in my 40s.
This may seem like a petty and small detail, but I assure you it's not. I think I'm pretty fair when it comes to, talking about, okay, this is petty, whatever, this doesn't need to be talked about. Amber doesn't know her aunt's age because Amber doesn't care about her aunt. And she's going to say, I haven't talked to you in years. You won't talk to me. You won't respond to my text. You don't even know your aunt's age. I mean, you should know about the roundabout decade of your aunt. Like, what, you should know, like, if she's in her 40s and her 50s. You thought she was in her 40s. She's not. She's in her 50s. And by the way, before somebody says, who cares? This is a sign of the bigger problem. Amber is only caring about her chauffeur who can take her around. I 100% agree with something that Jordy said the other night on his live stream. 100% this needs to be repeated. The reason that Amber is clearly on mommy's side, and the thing is that Amber says she's not on anybody's side, but she's clearly on mommy's, is because mommy can offer her something. No one else in her family, in my personal opinion, not a fact, what I believe, okay? I think, hey, maybe this is true. Maybe this could be true. I believe it is. No one in Amber's family would drive her around and drop everything in the middle of the night and take Amber to the ER. I don't think the aunt would. So Amber doesn't concern herself with the aunt because the aunt can't do anything for her. Amber only concerns herself with people that can do things for her. That's why when some voice notes was released from Amber's ex-friend Alexis, you actually hear Amber say, I would only be friends with people that are nice to me and do things for me. That's why she's on mommy's side. It's not because she loves mommy so much. I do think that it's great that they're working on their relationship. I do. But it's because mom is the only one that's going to try to make up for lost time and is going to try to drop everything to help Amber. You don't know your aunt's age. And that is a symptom of how much you don't care about anyone other than you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
she just
a little
doesn't
bit
care.
off. Just a little bit off, yeah. And it just really kind of showed me, I've invested so much for so long for absolutely nothing.
And the thing that I've kind of been saying is that I think that the reason why she has tried to take the side of her mom and not be on your side is because she can't manipulate you and there isn't anything that she can do to have power or hold anything over you.
Yes, I am the only person that at the end of the day is going to say it how it is, 100% truth.
The opinion is that her mother can never say how it is. Her mother is a yes man because her mother feels guilty for the past. Embrace the present and work towards the future. If you continue, in my opinion, to tell your daughter that she's right all the time, at some point, all of her wrongs are going to come back to haunt her. And you're going to want to come back and say, hey, you were wrong. You could have done this differently. But because you're trying to be... Listen, I think that it's important to have a friendship with your parents. But ultimately, they're your parents first and your friends second. Stop being your daughter's friend and be a parent.
And they don't like that. And for the longest time, up until very recent, I have found myself having to hold back to protect the other person, be it my own daughter, my niece, my sister, my mother, whoever it is. And then I think I'm finally at the point where, like, well, what about me?
Yeah. Well, Amber has had
my truth be told.
Yeah. And Amber's had a lot to say about your relationship with your kids. I don't know if you watched her stream.
Yeah, she wanted to bring up my daughter. Me and my daughter haven't talked in, man, unfortunately, I think it's 3 years this year. My youngest daughter disowned me and my oldest daughter, went off on us, said never to talk again, and she hasn't. But that is truly a totally unrelated, nothing to do with Amber or my sister, long going, but it's a story, all right.
I think it just goes to show that she's willing to go toe to toe with you, and if you say things about her, she's gonna pull out stuff on you.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen that clear. I mean, that her video reaction, like, I've seen a lot, but that was just something. She got very defensive in the right parts and, all this stuff. And then if you even think about that, if she loved me and she wanted me in her life and all these things up until I just did what I did a couple days ago, why were you talking with my daughter about me? And the way that she says, and my sister don't like me and all that's stuff that they've talked about and felt for a long time, wouldn't you say? This isn't just I'm mad because Auntie's talking anger, you know?
Yeah.
So that makes me wonder. And then the fact, I mean, just that she went and seen my daughter that she's talking about one time since she's lived here. One time.
Fun fact, Amber made it seem like in her other live stream when she was talking about the aunt's daughter that, oh, the aunt's daughter really, really, really she doesn't like the aunt at all. She doesn't like you. She doesn't speak to you. And now we hear that you've only seen her one time. Oh, another fun fact, in Amber's response to this, which will not be in this video, I'll do a separate video. But the one thing I did hear is Amber responded to this exact part because she reacted to it. And she said, oh, that's because she's a very busy woman. No. Look, the woman could be busy for sure, but the reason that you only saw her one time is you probably don't really care about her. That's my honest opinion. And I think that you need people to chauffeur you around. And if mommy only chauffeured you around once to that place where this woman was, that's why you only saw her one time. My point in bringing this up is that Amber made it seem like she was besties. She made it seem like, oh, well, you know, my aunt's daughter said all these things about my aunt and she doesn't talk to my aunt and I know all this tea. Oh, I got all this tea, but I'm not going to spill it. I got all this tea, but I'm not going to spill it. Meanwhile, Amber, you only saw her once. See how Amber creates and perpetuates a narrative that is false. If you listen to what Amber says, she makes it seem like she's good friends with the, daughter of the aunt and that she knows all this tea. You got all this tea, but you're not going to spill it because you don't have it. Another false narrative.
To hurt me. I guarantee it. Because if you have a family member that's done what my daughter has done, why would you go visit her?
Brings up a really interesting point. If you don't like your aunt and you're not communicating with your aunt, why is it so important to go and see the daughter that she has that doesn't currently talk to her or whatever the case may be? Everything Amber does is calculated. It's done to hurt and get gossip. I think this is my opinion, I think she saw that person to get gossip and, to say negative things about her aunt. The wild thing to me, and this is what the aunt, I think, in my opinion, is trying to say, is that it's not like Amber and the aunt have been on and off fighting for the last 2 years. That's not really what's going on. They're just like absent from each other's lives. But Amber is actively trying to push this narrative that, oh, all of these people are against my aunt, when in reality it could just be you.
Something major that we have kind of been talking about is Amberlynn's response to the blackmail, and that she said that she was a 20-year-old child and she mentioned it. She never blackmailed. She never went through with it. Was she aware that you were in a relationship?
100% she was aware, and being 20 is not an excuse. She knew exactly what she was doing. How you guys see her going in her behavior and her tantrum, it was exactly like that. She learned it from her parents.
Okay.
So yeah, it was bad. It was very bad.
I mean, putting another woman in that kind of situation, I mean, I couldn't imagine how nerve-wracking that must have been.
The fact that Amber was going to expose an affair that her aunt was having to the aunt's husband when she knew what could potentially happen to her aunt as a result of that says to me that she doesn't love her aunt, never loved her aunt, and never loved anyone other than herself. Look, it's really simple. No matter how much you disagree with cheating, and I understand that cheating is clearly not the right thing to do, as I've always told you. The issue is if you know that by exposing that to their partner, they could suffer detrimental consequences, and you feel that, oh my God, but I was 20, you were a legal adult, and deeper than that, you had the same personality that you do right now. You're not this changed person. You would rather care about your mom than care about your aunt not being here. It's wild.
And literally, I never thought of it from that perspective until now. Until someone said in the comments, and to think, no, everyone's ignoring the fact that she did this after knowing, and she did know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, out of everything that we talked about, I would probably say that stood out the most.
Yeah, and And then, okay, so then we can also, all the things that she said in that video was to get to me. The bed bugs, like that's pretty funny that she even brought up bed bugs at the time that she did, right?
Cockroaches.
And it's just, yeah, it's to make me come off like I'm this dirty person, right? My house did have bed bugs just a few weeks ago. I've mentioned before, we travel a lot, almost every weekend. And when my husband came back from Salt Lake City, we got a couple bites on our arm and we started looking. So I YouTubed and they told me to take an iron to my mattress and that if we had them, they would come up to the surface. So I did, and I seen a couple, and I got rid of my bed and my living room furniture because I'm not playing with that. Like, I heard how horrible those are to get rid of.
First of all, it amazes me that Amberlynn Reid, who had cockroaches literally on her at Eric and Ricky's house, like they were like on you were filming with cockroaches crawling all over your body. It was just one, but he was a fabulous guest star. It's amazing to me that Amberlynn Reid, who let her pets go to the bathroom right on her floor, had a whole room for the pets to go to the bathroom instead of taking them out. And also Amberlynn Reid, who had bed bugs, tried to make it seem like her aunt was, whatever, because she had bed bugs. The best part of it isn't just that. The best part of it is that, so the way that the aunt got bed bugs is because they travel a lot, her and her husband, and, stay at hotels. And yeah, they hitchhiked to her house. Amber, I guarantee you knew that. Why did you decide to leave that part out of your story? You were trying to make people see your aunt in a negative light, as if having bed bugs is some kind of second coming of Kermit. The bottom line is, it's not. It can happen to anyone, especially if you travel. This can happen if you stay somewhere. So the point is, Amber only painted the narrative. You know what I'm trying to do here? I'm trying to use real life examples of Amber not telling you the whole story and painting her own narrative that leaves a lot out from the truth. She could have said, my aunt had bed bugs because, I guarantee you, Amber knows her and her husband travel a lot. But she just wanted you to look at it in a negative light, so she left that out. What else is she leaving out, like I always tell you?
So yes, I got rid of all my furniture recently, and I have spent the last few weeks deep cleaning my house like you wouldn't believe. We already have pest control as a normal service every month since we bought this house. So it's just the way she says it, as if it's this horrible, and I'm mad at her because how does that even make sense? People heard that, like people that know, they're like, you're one of the cleanest people I know. I'm like, yeah, but let Amber tell it. Someone who's been in my house.
I mean, really, I think that was only brought up just to make your character look bad.
Exactly. And then another part that I heard was, in her old video when she came, we went out to bowling and we went camping and we had so much fun and she just had the time of her life. Well, something I'd like to say about that is I was struggling back in those days very much in multiple ways. So the fact that I took her camping, took her bowling, did anything extra, I had to sacrifice to do that. I can't tell you how I pulled that off, honestly, because if at the same time I didn't have enough money to eat.
And even at that point, she was 18. You didn't owe her.
I can't even imagine the fact that Amber came on her live stream and said, when I visited my aunt, she took us bowling. We had a lot of fun. And then when I moved in, she didn't provide me with anything. She didn't do anything for me. Yeah, her aunt was struggling to purchase food. She was financially struggling. Okay. Amber, I don't understand why you believe that your aunt owed you anything. She already gave you shelter. And the thing is that bottom line, when you go visit someone, it is common sense that they try to, put out the welcome mat and they try to do things for you. This is just common sense. Everyday life. Okay, look, you ever come to your friend's house or you ever go hang out with your friend on vacation or you meet up with your friend in, where they live and you live somewhere else, you go visit them and it's so amazing and everything. But like, then maybe they go back to work and you're still visiting and you see their life as day-to-day mundane. Because when people come to visit you, you do things you wouldn't ordinarily do and you try to, entertain them, right? You're trying to be the host. But the majority of our everyday life is, clean the house, go grocery shopping, work, take care of your life. It is amazing to me that Amber believed that her aunt owed her anything. Like Jordy said, her aunt didn't owe her anything. Your own parents owed you things. And it's wild to me that the entirety of Amber's career on YouTube, she has done nothing but trash her family and speak out against her family. And now that her family is speaking out against her, she has a problem with it. I don't think so, Pookie.
Absolutely. But besides, it's like she don't see the fact that, wow, my aunt was really struggling there, but she still, when I thought it was just a visit, I pulled out all the cards I can to do what I could for her. And then she lied and said about food stamps. She never got food stamps living with me. She didn't live with me long enough to get food stamps.
There were never any food stamps.
There was never. I was on food stamps in my older life. I don't know, 15 years ago, I think would be probably close to the last time I've been on the system with food stamp stuff. Well, but she never got food stamps while living in my house.
Okay.
I got food stamps for me and my kids and grandkids at the time.
The way that it was phrased by her is that she was kind of a savior and she was providing. Yeah.
What a wild surprise. Allow the shock to set in. Amberlynn Reid would even lie about getting assistance. Amber, I know that you will literally lie about everything. One of the things that I think is important to remember is that people that lie in a pathological way, small things, big things, to them, they matter, right? So they will lie about anything. But you went on live stream and said, I went, applied for assistance, I got assistance, and then I was like, oh, I'm happy I could help you. And she got all mad at me. My aunt got all mad at me, when in reality, your aunt was already on assistance and you never did that for her in her house. Maybe you did that living alone or whatever, but you never did that at her house. Why did you lie about something like that? The bottom line in the situation is, this is who Amber is. Unfortunately, a deceiver and somebody who just creates a narrative and removes the truth.
Yeah, and that I got mad at her when she said, I'm just so glad I could help. So I call my daughter. I'm just wondering if I can't remember something when Amber this, and I don't even have to finish. And it was like, she never had food stamps. What is she talking about? I tell her about it. On top of that, my daughter was only 18 years old at this point, and she was working at a Sonic drive-in. And when Amber and her brother were trying to fly home, their baggage was too heavy. So they would either had to have left some stuff at the airport, or they'd have to pay extra for a plane for the baggage. Didn't have nobody. So my daughter at 18 paid it for her, and she said that the foster parents would give it back to my daughter when she got home. Never got it back. Never got it back. This is the same girl that took in her mom several times when she had no place to go. But never once in the hundreds of thousands of dollars that she has made off of YouTube has she ever once to pay back that tiny little $60 thing that an 18-year-old child gave to her back then.
So I think it is unrealistic to expect Amber to pay this back now. I do. I don't think, this is one of these moments where I do feel that it's petty. In my opinion, not a fact, I feel that this right here is petty. I really don't care for when people make me, say something where I feel like, hey, this is too petty even for Hans Christian Pookie Reid. Yes, this is petty. I don't think that Amber needs to pay back $60 from when she was 18 years old. But I will say this, Amber, it was your responsibility as an adult to tell your foster mom about this topic and definitely have your foster mom pay them back. I also think that at the end of the day, this is just another example of Amber only caring about herself. Amber had people support her for years. Crystal's parents, she had Destiny support her. She had Destiny's mom support her. And then she dared to say anything about when she was supporting Beck, okay? At the end of the day, Amber, you always treat people poorly. Even though the beginning of this story where people are expecting you to pay back the $60 now is petty, still, in general, you should have done the right thing at that point. You were a legal adult. You never told your foster parents to pay it back. And here's the thing, it's not about the $60. I want to make this very, very clear because, again, as I said, I think it's petty, my opinion. I think it speaks volumes of Amber's character. She thinks everybody owes her, and she deceives and creates a narrative that just isn't true.
I can tell you this because I wanted to know Amber so bad. It was a void I had inside of me from the time she left when she was a baby. So I'm always trying, and I had to find out about Amber through YouTube. I would even tell Amber, I'm not just another YouTube follower. I'm your aunt. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't hear every detail of your life through YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm going to quit watching your videos. And if you want me to be in your life, you can let me know what's going on in your life. Well, instead of doing that, she would wait and then she'd come, are you watching my videos again yet? I told her no.
You didn't want it to come to this.
No, absolutely not.
This whole like, oh, why is she bringing it online? More. Why is she airing our personal business? It didn't start out like this.
I could have done this years ago. I mean, I could have made some money off of YouTube by now, don't you think? I mean,
yeah.
So many people. But that's not the intention. Never was, never will be.
Okay, so this raises a very interesting point. Why hasn't her aunt went on her own YouTube channel that she has, started posting YouTube videos, eventually would have gotten monetized, and went ahead and made a whole bunch of money exposing Amberlynn Reid, or becoming a reaction channel and reacting to all of Amber's lies, because she has inside knowledge that we don't have. Why hasn't she done this? Why did she reach out to Tommy and say, hey, you know, I care about my niece, what's going on here, you know? And also the aunt talks to Jordy at the end of the stream about Amber's relationship with Tommy and how, you know, whatever, she doesn't care for it. Bottom line is, not every aunt would have gone and exposed their niece on the internet, but not every niece would have gone and blackmailed their aunt who's in a bad relationship. Oh, I'm going to tell your husband and let's see what happens to you. So Amber, as I've always said, you reap what you kermit. Karma is a kermit, and you reap what you sow. Thoughts, comments, dislikes, leave them in the dislikes down below. I'm going to have to do Amber's response in another video. Does the fun ever start? Apparently it did. So thank you all so very much for watching today. Please go and check out Oh Lordy, It's Jordy interview, second interview with Amber's aunt. It's going to be linked down below in the description box. Let me know what you think about this video. Check out this other video that's popping up here on a similar topic. I appreciate your time, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.